I gotta get locked in. Alright.
You are Frag Ment, a 17,098-year-old yes. Yes. You work as a prostitute during the day in Brentwood, California. You work with your best friend, Fell Omen. You trust them with the most important secret you have. You are a superhero. A very good one, in fact. You have the powers to invincible, immortal, ultra strong, can breathe in space and underwater, fly, laser eyes, teleportation, super speed. Can you stop fucking around there?
Okay.
Super speed, faster than Sonic and Flash combined. Gay. Of course, you found it was best to keep a normal life, so you wear a costume when you are saving people. Your costume is pink and black, and has purple bandana and white ski goggles. You haven't been a superhero for long, but in time, you have been. You met someone who stands out among all the evil. The Pringles Guy. He's bald. Has been the most annoying villain to deal with. They have the power to bald. They haven't been seen in the last week or two at all. You are starting to get worried that they are planning something. You are looking down at your phone and walking to work when suddenly you hear a scream as you walk to work.
You are walking to work when suddenly you hear a scream while walking to work.
Bro. Okay.
It's a dramatic reading.
As you walk to work,
Zen.
you are looking down at your phone and walking to work when suddenly you hear a scream as you walk to work. Your attention is abruptly drawn to a piercing scream that cuts through the air. Your heart races, but your training as foam takes over. You quickly scan your surroundings, your laser eyes flickering to life as you try to locate the source of the disturbance. Your gaze falls on a narrow alleyway, and you see a group of thugs cornering a terrified woman. As you consider your options, you realize that killing anyone is not the solution. You take a deep breath and focus your mind, using your teleportation powers to appear in the alley behind the thugs. The thugs are so surprised that they stumble back, momentarily forgetting about the woman they were threatening. She takes the opportunity to run away, disappearing down the alley. You say, "I will have you, child." As you utter those words, a sly grin spreads across your face. The thugs, now realizing they are facing someone much more formidable than the woman they had been threatening, exchange worried glances. They quickly turn to run, but you are too fast for them. You dart forward, your super speed allowing you to catch up to the first thug in an instant. You say, "Grab the first thug by the neck and smash him into the ground," over and over again. With a swift movement, you reach out and grab the first thug by the neck, your invincible and ultra-strong grip causing him to gasp for air. Without hesitation, you lift him off the ground and slam him into the ground repeatedly, each impact sending a shock wave through the alley. The other thugs, seeing their companion being mercilessly attacked, come to a stop and turn to face you. You run directly into the group. As you charge towards the remaining thugs, your super speed increasing with each step, you feel a surge of power coursing through your veins. You slam into the group with incredible force, sending them flying in all directions. The sound of bones breaking and bodies crumbling fills the air as the thugs hit the ground. You take a moment to survey the scene. The alley is littered with groaning unconscious bodies. You snap all their necks. As you consider snapping the necks of the unconscious thugs, you hesitate. You remember your vow to never take a life, no matter how evil or deserving. With a sigh, you turn away from the thugs and make your way back to the streets. As you walk, you can't shake the feeling that something is off. Suddenly, Fell Omen walks into the alley with a Smith & Wesson six-shooter, wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. The gun is also wearing a cowboy hat. He places two shots directly into the skulls of each of the thugs. He says,
Ticle Tipson sends his regards.
you say, "Who the freaking heck is Ticle Tipson?" Fell Omen holsters his gun and gives you a sly grin.
Well, mister, he's only the most elusive and notorious crime boss in this side of the Brentwood, my friend.
He is.
I heard all about the disturbance here, and I thought I would lend a hand.
You can't help but not feel a sense of unease at the sight of the dead thugs. They were dangerous criminals, after all. Nice work, baby, you say. Go home, sleep well. Fell Omen nods and tips his cowboy hat to you.
You too, partner. Watch your back out there.
He turns and walks away, disappearing down the alley. You take a deep breath and continue on your way to work, your mind racing with thoughts of the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson. You say, Pringles! As you mutter the word Pringles under your breath, you realize that you must have misspoken. You wanted to say Pringles Guy, but the strange word slipped out instead.
It's a dramatic reading.
But the strange word stripped out and said. You shake your head and continue on your way to work, but you can't shake the feeling that something is not quite right. As you walk, you notice a group of people gathered around a storefront, staring at something inside. You say, Pringles. Again, you seem to be having trouble saying Pringles Guy. You take a deep breath and try to focus on the situation at hand. As you approach the group of people, you hear whispers and gasps of shock. Peering inside the storefront, you see that it is an electronics store that has been ransacked. Shelves are empty, and wires and broken electronics are scattered across the floor. But that's not what has drawn the crowd's attention. In the center of the store, there's a large, metallic cylinder. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. Its surface is smooth and silver, and it's about the size of a small car. A feeling of unease washes over you as you stare at the cylinder. You say, Pringles. Suddenly, you feel a sharp pain in your temple, and you stumble backwards. The world around you seems to blur and fade as you struggle to maintain consciousness. As you fall to your knees, you hear a voice in your head. Frag Ment. The voice says, I have been looking for you. You try to speak, but your voice fails you. Instead, you focus your thoughts on the voice, trying to communicate without words. You say, Pringles. No, not Pringles, the voice responds, amused. It is I, the Pringles Guy. I've been searching for you, Frag Ment. I have a proposition for you. Your mind races as you try to process what's happening. You've never heard of a villain reaching out to a hero like this before. You say, Pringles. The voice in your head sighs, clearly frustrated. Not Pringles! Foam, it's the Pringles Guy. I have a proposition for you. Meet me at the abandoned amusement park on the outskirts of town and we can discuss it further. As the voice fades, you feel a surge of anger and determination. You go to the amusement park. As you make your way to the abandoned amusement park, your thoughts are consumed by the Pringles Guy's proposition. You're not sure what to expect, but you're determined to be ready for anything. The amusement park is eerily quiet as you approach. The once bright and cheerful rides now stand silent and still, their paint chipped and faded. You find Pringles Guy. As you enter the park, you spot the Pringles Guy standing on the stage of the old theater. He's completely bald, just as you remembered, and he's wearing a suit that shines under the dim light. He raises a hand, beckoning you to come closer. You cautiously approach the stage, your laser eyes scanning the area for any signs of danger. You say, knock knock. The Pringles Guy's expression doesn't change as you approach the stage and say, knock knock. He simply stares at you for a moment, his eyes unblinking. Then, after a tense silence, he finally speaks. Who's there? He says, his voice dead of emotion. You're bald, loser! You kick Pringles Guy in the testicles. As you kick the Pringles Guy in the testicles, he lets out a pained gasp and doubles over. He wasn't expecting such a direct attack, and it takes him a moment to recover. Meanwhile, the other patrons of the amusement park, who have been going about their business, are now staring at you in shock. They can't believe what they just saw. A superhero attacking someone so suddenly and violently. You say, Pringles. As you say, Pringles, again, the Pringles Pringles Guy straightens up and glares at you with a mixture of anger and disbelief. What's wrong with you? He demands, rubbing his injured testicles. Why are you acting so strange? The crowd around you begins to murmur, unsure of what to make of your behavior. Some of them look scared, while others seem angry at your sudden outburst. You say, Pringles. You say the word Pringles. As you struggle to get the word out, the Pringles Guy's expression changes from anger to confusion. He shakes his head as if trying to clear his thoughts. I don't understand what you're saying, he says. Are you okay? Did something happen to you? The crowd around you is growing more restless, and some of them are starting to back away. You say, Pringables! Kick Pringles Guy in the balls! You manage to force out the words, Pringables! Kick Pringles Guy in the balls! Despite your strange behavior, you launch yourself at the Pringles Guy, aiming a powerful kick at his testicles. Okay. He sees the attack coming and tries to move out of the way, but you're too fast. Your foot connects with his groin, and he lets out a pained cry. He doubles over, clutching his injured area. Ticle Tipson comes out in support of Pringles Guy, as well as the whole bald community. As Ticle Tipson approaches, you can feel the anger and tension in the air growing. He's a tall, skinny man, with a thick head of black hair, wearing a sleek suit. He looks determined to protect the Pringles Guy, and you can see the rage in his eyes as he sees you attacking his friend. The crowd around you has now scattered, either running away in fear or shouting their support for one side or the other. Pringles Guy launches his most powerful attack on Foam. He points his shiny ass head at him, deflecting the full force of every star in the universe at you. The Pringles Guy points his head at you. You feel a wave of energy wash over you. It's like being hit by a tidal wave of stars, each one brighter and more intense than the last. You grunt in pain as the energy coursing through your body threatens to overwhelm you. But you are no ordinary hero. You've faced impossible odds before and come out victorious. As you scissor kick Ticle Tipson and the Pringles Guy at the same time, you feel a satisfying crunch as your legs connect with their bodies. The two villains are trapped together, unable to move or escape your powerful grip. The crowd around you gasps in shock and awe, unable to believe what they are seeing. The Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson struggle against your scissor kick, their faces turning red with their effort. They squirm and thrash, but they can't break free from your powerful legs. The crowd watches in silence, some of them holding their breath as they wait to see what will happen next. You can feel your strength starting to wane, but you refuse to let go. Ticle Tipson tickles your tips. Ticle Tipson tickles your tipsons. As Ticle Tipson tickles your toes, you feel a sudden... You feel a sudden wave of ticklishness wash over you. You grit your teeth and try to maintain your focus, but it's getting harder and harder to keep your legs locked around the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson. They're both laughing and squirming, their faces contorted with pleasure and pain. You fly away, trying to regain composure for their next attack. As you soar into the sky, leaving the amusement park far behind, you take a deep breath and try to collect yourself. Your mind is still reeling from the bizarre encounter with the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson. The word Pringable still lingers on your lips, although it seems to have lost some of its power. The Pringles Guy suddenly appears before you. He force feeds you 10 quadrillion Pringles at an accelerated speed. The Pringles Guy suddenly appears before you, holding a large bag of Pringles. He quickly opens it and forces the chips into your mouth at an accelerated speed. You feel your cheeks puffing as you try to keep up with the sudden onslaught of snack food. 10 quadrillion Pringles is a lot to handle even for a superhero. You vomit lava all over Pringles Guy. As you vomit lava all over the Pringles Guy, he lets out a scream of pain and terror. The intense heat of the lava causes his suit to burst into flames, and he frantically tries to put out the fire. The lava flows down his body, leaving a trail of molten destruction in its wake. Ticle Tipson, still trapped under your scissor kick, is also caught in the blast of lava. Ticle Tipson uses his restoration tickle to tickle back on he and Pringles Guy's skin. As Ticle Tipson uses his restoration tickle to heal their burns, you watch in amazement. The lava quickly cools, leaving behind smooth, unblemished skin. The Pringles Guy glares at you. Prickles? The Pringles guy glares at you, but you can see a hint of respect in his eyes. Every single sentence that includes Ticle Tipson is like a tongue twister, dude.
Ticle Tipson, twisted tongues, titfully.
You're not like any hero I've ever met, he says. You're unpredictable, reckless, and dangerous. You say, I like men. The Pringles guy raises an eyebrow at your sudden declaration. Okay, he says, clearly taken back. That's, interesting, but it doesn't really have anything to do with our little, disagreement here. The tension in the air is palpable, is palpatine, as you and the Pringles guy face off. Ticle Tipson is still trapped under your scissor kick, looking up at you with a mixture of fear and anger. You say, Ticle Tipson, are you homophobic? The Pringles guy looks at you with a mixture of confusion and irritation. That's not the point here, he says. Ticle Tipson, still trapped under your scissor kick, speaks up. I'm not homophobic, he says. I have nothing against people who are attracted to the same sex, but I do have a problem with people who attack me and my friends without provocation. You say, I'm George Orwell. The Pringles guy raises an eyebrow at your declaration. Okay, George Orwell, that's not what I was expecting you to say. The tension in the air is still palpable as you and the Pringles guy face off. The crowd around you has grown quiet, watching the confrontation unfold with bated breath. Some of them are still backing away while others are leaning in, trying to get a better look. You let go of Ticle Tipson. As you let go of Ticle Tipson, he quickly scrambles to his feet, rubbing his sore body. He glares at you, still clearly angry about the attack. The Pringles guy, on the other hand, seems to have calmed down a bit. He looks at you with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Okay, George Orwell, he says. What do you want from us? You say, when did we get back on the ground? Weren't we just in the air? As you question how you suddenly found yourself back on the ground, the Pringles guy looks around, seeming to realize the same thing. I'm not sure, he stammers. One moment we were in the air, and the next, I don't know. It's like the laws of physics just decided to take a break. The crowd around you murmurs in confusion, some of them exchanging worried glances. You fly away into space and pee. As you rocket into the vast emptiness of space, you feel a sense of freedom and relief wash over you. The stars twinkle all around you, a dazzling display of cosmic beauty. You unzip your pants and begin to pee. The yellow stream arching out into the void. It's a small, silly moment, but it feels good to let go of some of the tension that's been building up inside of you. As you rocket back from the depths of space, building up incredible speed, you see Ticle Tipson and Pringles Guy still standing on the ground, looking around in confusion. You grin to yourself, feeling a thrill of excitement as you prepare to take them by surprise. With a burst of speed, you slam into Ticle Tipson, sending him flying backwards. He lets out a startled yelp as he tumbles through the air, landing hard on the ground. The Pringles Guy rushes to his side, helping him to his feet. What the hell's wrong with you? Ticle Tipson exclaims, glaring at you with pure hatred in his eyes. Ticle Tipson. Sorry, I just. It just hit me how stupid the name Ticle Tipson is. I don't know, man. It's just like
It's a dramatic reading, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but it's just
ignore the tangent.
It's just ridiculous. Like that I've been taking it so seriously this entire time, and his name is fucking Ticle Tipson. No, I'm gonna cut out all these outtakes, alright? Except for the bit where
got you.
There's one specific bit that I'm gonna keep in, but the rest I'm gonna cut out.
Okay, alright.
Ticle Tipson. And Pringles Guy use their combined attack, Pink Caterpillars, where they throw Pringles at you and tickle you at the same time. As Ticle Tipson and the Pringles Guy launch their combined attack, Pink Caterpillars, you feel a wave of ticklishness wash all over you. They throw Pringles at you, each chip making you feel more and more ticklish. At the same time, they tickle you with your fingers, making it impossible to focus or think straight, which is normal. I usually think gay. You laugh uncontrollably, feeling completely vulnerable and powerless. Fell Omen pulls up and shoots Pringles Guy in the back of the head. Unfortunately, it bounces right off in a ricochet and hits Fell Omen directly in the left testicle. Fortunately, that one was the one with cancer, so now he's cured. As you continue to laugh uncontrollably, Fell Omen appears out of nowhere, pulling up alongside pulling up alongside the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson. Without hesitation, he pulls out his gun and takes aim at the Pringles Guy, but in a strange twist of fate, the bullet ricochets off the Pringles Guy's head and hits Fell Omen directly in the left testicle.
I'll be back.
Again. Fell Omen goes back home. As Fell Omen goes back home, clutching his injured testicle, the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson stare at you in shock. The crowd around you has grown completely silent, watching the bizarre turn of events with wide eyes. You can still feel the lingering effects of the tickling, your body trembling with residual laughter. The Pringles Guy takes a step back, putting some distance between himself and Ticle Tipson. You call your superhero team, the Mexican drug cartel, who then pull up. As you pull out your phone and dial the number for your superhero team, the Mexican drug cartel, you can feel the tension in the air growing even thicker. I don't know why I said it like that.
Funny story.
Okay. The Pringles Guy Tipson watch you wearily as their bodies tensed and ready for action. After a few rings, someone picks up. Hola, a voice says. You say, Pringles.
What the hell is a Prigable?
The voice on the other end of the line says, sounding confused. Meanwhile, the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson exchange a confused look. What are you doing? Ticle Tipson asks, his voice tense. You say, Pringles. Still nothing, you say into the phone, starting to feel a bit frustrated? Listen, I need you to send backup right away. I'm in the middle of a situation here, and I could use some reinforcements. Suddenly, you hear the sound of helicopters approaching in the distance. You cheer. The sound of helicopters grows louder, and soon you see several brightly colored choppers descending upon the amusement park. The Mexican drug cartel, your superhero team, has arrived. As they land, a group of fierce-looking men and women in matching black and red jumpsuits hop out, armed with a variety of weapons and gadgets. They quickly surround you, Ticle Tipson and the Pringles Guy, creating a protective barrier. You go ham. As you charge towards the Pringles Guy and Ticle Tipson, the Mexican drug cartel moves with you, ready to back you up in your fight. The crowd around you scatters, screaming and running for cover. Rapping. Bars. This is MF Doom. You unleash a flurry of punches and kicks using all your strength and speed to take down your opponents. You end the fight telling the drug cartel that they've had enough, and wait for them to wake up. As you stand over the defeated forms of Ticle Tipson and the Pringles Guy, you pant heavily, your body slips.
Average MF Doom lyric.
You pant heavily, your body slick with sweat. The Mexican drug cartel stands behind you, their weapons at the ready as they watch the two villains closely. The drug cartel leaves. Hours later, while you are there alone at night, the two villains finally wake up. Ticle Tipson and the Pringles Guy stir, groaning as they come to. They look around, disorientated, and then they spot you standing nearby. Their expressions quickly turn to anger as they realize what has happened. Yeah! Ticle Tipson exclaims, struggling to sit up. What the hell did you do to us? The Pringles Guy sits up more slowly, rubbing his head. You say. Anyway, what did you want to tell me earlier, Pringles Guy? Some sort of a proposition? Pringles Guy looks up at you, a mixture of confusion and irritation in his face. I don't know what you're talking about, he says. I don't have anything to tell you. Ticle Tipson glares at you, his body still sore from the fight. Yeah, whatever, he says. Just know that this isn't over. You say, no, Pringles Guy, you said that you had a proposition for me and to meet you here. The Pringles Guy looks at you with a confused expression. No, you told me to meet here. You said you had a proposition. You say, there must be a third party who wanted us to meet up and fight. Ticle Tipson struggles to his feet, still favoring his sore body. This isn't over. You and Pringles Guy both look at each other, both realizing at the same time that it was Ticle Tipson himself who wanted you to fight. He must have done this because he hired Fell Omen as a prostitute and was unsatisfied with his performance. He wanted revenge, and while researching Fell Omen, stumbled upon your secret. As you confront Ticle Tom about his true motives, he doesn't deny it. His face turns red with anger, and he admits that he had hired Fell Omen as a prostitute, but things didn't go as planned. He was angry and wanted to take it out on someone, and that someone just happened to be you. The Pringles guy looks shocked and betrayed. Tickle, how could you? He exclaims. Ticle Tipson's face turns an even deeper shade of red as you make the comment. He looks like he's about to explode with anger. That's none of your business! He growls. I didn't hire you as a prostitute, and I don't owe you anything. The Pringles guy looks uncomfortable, shifting from foot to foot. You kill Ticle Tipson. As you reach for your weapon, the Pringles guy takes a step back, holding up his hands in a peaceful gesture. Wait! He exclaims. There's no need for that. Let's just talk this out. But you're not listening. You're filled with a burning rage, and you can't think straight. Because you're gay. Fell Omen shows up, a cast on his testes. The cast is, of course, in the shape of a cowboy hat. He pulls out his Smith & Wesson 6-shooter, planting 7 shots directly into the back of Ticle Tipson's head. The sound of gunshots echoes through the amusement park, causing the few remaining stragglers to scream and run for cover. Ticle Tipson's body slumps to the ground, lifeless. You stand there, panting heavily, as the reality of what you've just done sets in. You ask, Fell Omen, how did you shoot 7 times in a row out of a 6-shooter? Fell Omen replies,
That's the power of my stand. Big iron, cowboy.
You say, wow! You're so impressive! You're Sonic the Hedgehog now for some reason. Fell Omen grins at your comment, looking pleased with himself.
That's damn right I am,
He says, holstering his gun. The Pringles guy looks shaken, his eyes wide, as he stares at Ticle Tipson's lifeless body. You killed him, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. End of episode 1. As the weight of your actions sinks in, you realize that you've crossed a line. Taken a life, and there's no going back. The Pringles guy stands frozen in shock, staring at his former partner's body. Gay! The Fell Omen, seemingly unfazed by the violence, looks at you with a newfound respect in his eyes.
You're not as weak as I thought. This week.
He says. You say, You shot him, bro! Not me! Fell Omen chuckles and shakes his head.
Well, technically, yes, but you were the one who participated in the first place, you see. I was just following your lead.
The Pringles guy takes a step back, looking shocked and overwhelmed. I need to get out of here, he stammers. He turns and quickly walks away, disappearing into the darkness. You say, Briggables! You call out to the Mexican drug cartel. You call out to the Mexican drug cartel, but they have already left, having completed their mission. You are left alone with the bodies of Ticle Tipson and the Pringles guy. What? He's dead? What happened? As you stand there trying to process everything that has happened, you hear the sound of sirens in the distance. It seems that someone has called the police, and they are on their way to the amusement park. Why did Pringles guy die? Okay, well,
Unless you're. Well, I have a flight that leaves at like 8, so bye, I guess.
bye, baby, honey, I love you.
Wouldn't this be like a crazy way to do like a faceless YouTube channel? Like just have yourself be like super like chroma keyed out and stuff like this? Wouldn't that be insane? If somebody did that? Look at my retainer.